What the? Oh right, I forgot I ordered this. What's up, guys? So if you're like me, I'm about to move again, and I'm gonna have to put my CRT in storage. So I'm not gonna be able to play all my retro games the way that I really want to be able to play them. That CRT is definitely part of the experience. But since I'm gonna have to put it in storage, I need to be able to get my retro games onto either a computer monitor or a TV, like we have here. Well, the way I've done this in the past, you know, to like record my consoles or anything, is I've used something like this. This is an on composite to HDMI adapter that you could go pick up at Walmart or go get something similar on Amazon. It's about 30 bucks and it lets you plug in your RCA connection and make it come out as HDMI. But I've done this in the past and there's always been a little bit of an issue, just something hasn't felt right. And so what I decided to do was I looked around online. I heard about this company called LevelHike, and they make just straight HDMI adapters for each individual console. And so I wanted to see how well they actually worked and how they compared to just this little converter box. So I went and picked up one for the N64. And as you can see here, it actually works for Super Nintendo, N64, and GameCube. So let's unbox it, I'll show you what we get, and let's give it a little comparison against this to see if buying a bunch of these would be worth the extra cost over just getting one of these. All right, let's do it. I want to apologize in advance for the audio quality and the lighting. I don't have my lights currently set up because, as I mentioned before, I am about to move. So I'm in a situation of doing the best I can. But let's unbox this boy and show you guys what we get. So I have already opened this before, but this is everything that came in the box. You get the actual converter box, an HDMI cable, and you get a decently long micro USB cable. As a 6-foot tall boy, this is the same height as me, so this is a 6-foot cable, and we'll get into this in a little bit. But here is the actual important bit. It has the plug for the N64 on one end, it goes into this box and comes out HDMI on the other. On the side, it has a spot for that micro USB cable, and then on the top here, it has this little switch, which allows you to swap it between 4:3 aspect ratio and 16:9 aspect ratio. This little switch here is probably the reason why I opted to go with the LevelHike over a few of the other options that were available, because this is the only one that I saw that had a switch to change the aspect ratio. Every other thing would require you to do something within your TV, and I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to mess with that input channel. I liked the thought of having an inline switch that would let me swap the aspect ratio, so that way I didn't have to mess with the TV. An important thing to note about that switch, though, it does not actually change the video signal to be 4:3. It squishes the video to 4:3 and then adds black bars on the side, so the video is then still 16:9. I have a little bit of a clip that I filmed that I'll show you right now, showing you what I'm talking about. I actually recorded this in OBS at 4:3, and the signal was squished, and it was squished even more than it should have been because it had to keep the black bar. It kept the black bars on the side. Hey, me here in editing. I realize I didn't actually say it in the video, but for those curious, it works with GameCube and Super Nintendo. So it does say that you're supposed to power it, but I had noticed that doesn't seem to be the case. Now what this might do is this might be a bit of a signal booster, and so if your HDMI cable is rather long, this might not be able to draw enough power from the console to get the signal down the cable. And this might be what this is for. I can't say for sure. I don't have a long enough HDMI cable to test it. I used the included HDMI cable that's about 4 feet long, and I did not have to have it plugged in. But if you get to a 10-foot cable or even a 25-foot cable, this might then be necessary. It is a fairly cheap plastic build, like there is a bit of flex to it if you squeeze it, but this isn't something that you're going to be like throwing around and needing it to be super strong. This is going to plug into your console, it's going to just sit there, and you're going to have the cable go out to the TV. I'm not going to knock it for that, because there are some other HD adapters for these consoles that are a lot more expensive, so if that's what they had to do to keep the cost down, then I'm okay with that. I've definitely held things that feel cheaper that cost more. Now I wanted to take and give y'all a quick example of what the input lag looks like on this.
Now, I don't personally think it's enough to worry about. It reminds me a lot of using a modern Bluetooth controller with something like the PlayStation 5 or the Nintendo Switch. That very ever so slight little bit of delay that you get from using a Bluetooth controller is kind of what I feel here. So let me just show you exactly what I'm talking about.
Let's get into the signal comparison. All that ultimately matters is the picture quality that these two output, so I filmed a bit of a comparison with a few games, so let's take a look at that right now. Yeesh, that's a pretty big difference, huh? So yeah, I kind of really like this thing. I'm probably going to be getting one of each type of these cables so I can have all of my consoles able to be plugged into my computer monitor here. It's not something you're going to be able to get right away because these things range from $20 to $30 a piece, but the improvement in quality over the composite to HDMI box here is really no contest. You just have to decide what you want to do. Do you want to just spend $30 one time and deal with the lesser quality? Or are you willing to spend $30 per cable and get something that's a bit closer to the CRT experience? But that's up to y'all, and that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I look forward to bringing you guys even more informative videos just like this one as the days go on. So again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one, y'all.